Welcome to Milwaukee, inside the Al McGuire Center on the campus of Marquette University. It's the Big East Volleyball Championships. Our first semifinal features the Villanova Wildcats taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles. And greetings, everybody. Bob Brainerd, along with my partner, Michelle Griffin-Wenzel. Michelle, first time that these two teams will ever meet in the Big East Championships. So you've got two teams that are going to try to do what they do. What exactly will they try to do this afternoon? You have the answers.
Well, for the Wildcats, it's all about serving aggressively and being less predictable on offense. For Marquette, it has to be going to their Big East Player of the Year, Allie Barber, feeding her early and often, and passing cleanly up to their setters.
This is semifinal number one. The winner advances to the championship on Saturday afternoon. Take a look at the brackets, the final four teams in the Big East. After this one, we sorted out between Creighton and St. John's. Creighton has won this tournament title the last 5 years running. Over to Piper Shaw with more on this semifinal.
The Wildcats and Golden Eagles have already seen each other twice this season, and in both of those matchups, it was Marquette who came out on top. Villanova's head coach Josh Steinbach told me that he hopes those losses make his team hungry for a win here today. He also says that they are playing at their best when they're playing loose, when they're playing carefree, when they have fun. But Marquette is going to have to watch out for the aggressive serving that Villanova brings. And Marquette's head coach Ryan Tice, he knows that their biggest obstacle here today will be managing that service pressure. Guys?
Thank you, Piper. The lineup for Ryan Tice and his Marquette Golden Eagles, the number 2 seed in this tournament. Vandenberg, Speckman, Wirch, Allie Barber, as Michelle mentioned, the Player of the Year for the second time in her career in the Big East, along with Gwyn Jones and Elizabeth Orff. You will also see the talented libero, Martha Kanavadoff. Throw Martha into the mix, along with Wirch and Barber. Those are 3 all Big East first conference players. And for the Wildcats, under their head coach, Josh Steinbach, the starters look like this: Howling, Decker, Morse, Olszewski, Sanaa Barnes, and Delaplane. Howling, Decker, and Olszewski are all Big East players in 2019. Marquette comes in the number 12 seed, not the 12, the number 12 ranked team in the country. They were number 9 for the longest time, fell to Creighton in the regular season finale weekend. So Creighton moved up, Marquette moved down. We'll see the Blue Jays and the Red Storm following this one. As we mentioned, Michelle, Villanova and Marquette have not met during this tournament in the past. They met twice during the regular season, as Piper pointed out. Marquette took both of those matchups, but that play loose mentality that the Wildcats will have, that risk reward that we'll see a lot with their serve. If they get on a roll, if they get in a good place, they're very dangerous.
And for their offense, they have to spread it around, get all of their hitters involved, because that's what they did against Creighton when they beat Creighton a couple of weeks ago. And the other thing, too, is that they have to get their blocks at the net centered around Vandenberg and Wirch for Marquette. As Allie Barber is going to get her touches, it's very difficult to stop the Big East Player of the Year.
Here we go, best of 5 sets to advance to the Big East Championship. Tight at the net, and Barber is right there. Thank you very much on the comebacker. She dumps it down for the first point.
Well, at 6'5" and that long reach, she just elevates over the net, taps it right down.
Vandenberg, talented freshman, part of the Big East all-freshman squad. Barnes snuck it up over the hands. Barber with the wind-up, off the hands there, dug out by the Cats. Barnes, the lefty, flips it across on the slide, and that one out of play. Finished off that time by Hope Wirch. Hope Wirch, Michelle. Barber gets a lot of the attention, but Hope Wirch has been equal to the task and being a great compliment to Barber.
Yeah, she plays on that right side, 6'1" junior, 2.8 kills per set.
Barnes, hands got it, flipped back into play by Speckman. Cross court it goes, deadened in the back by Vandenberg. And then Barber, big windup into the twine. So Nova on the board first. Wildcats, as Michelle mentioned, Marquette got them in both the regular season matches, but they did beat Creighton, rather. In fact, swept the Blue Jays. Another reason to take Nova seriously. There's Wirch. Saved, however, by Emma Decker, and then deep shot, too deep by the Cats. Good hustle points by Nova, but Marquette gets the point.
You bet, and Villanova is starting off this match serving aggressively, keeping Marquette out of system. But it's those small mistakes that will eat up Villanova if they continue to make them.
They'll live and die with that aggressive serve. That time, good angle by Claire Delaplane, the sophomore.
Yeah, nice high set coming from Emma Decker right on that pin. Delaplane putting it just out of the reach of Knavidov.
Here's Sarah Ullman, the junior from Manhattan Beach, California, to serve. Comes in back row for Barnes for defensive purposes. Barber winds up, hands got it to deaden it. Delaplane, Karam off the hands. Wirch was there, but Delaplane too much on it.
Great high ball right on that pin. Her teammates were calling line, line, line. And Delaplane just comes off and takes it high off the block of Hope Wirch.
Delaplane was all Big East last year as a freshman. Battled some injuries this year. And a wicked from the middle. Hope Wirch delivers. Back to Marquette, plus 4-3.
And that was textbook Marquette volleyball. Getting that ball up to Speckman at the net, staying in system, so they're able to feed that pipe and Hope Wirch.
Here's Sarah Rose to serve. Back to Delaplane. And never made it across. Tried to tickle the net, ride it up and over, but it didn't. 5-3 Golden Eagles. Rose now serving and setting in the 6-2 here. She's very good defensively in that back row. Likes to work quicker, faster tempo when she's in. Delaplane over the hands. Wirch saved it from her knees. Delaplane again. And Knavidov got a piece of it, but that's it.
I like what we're seeing out of Villanova right now, spreading the wealth across the net, really making Marquette's blockers trying to shift and figure out where that set's going. You mentioned Marquette plays in a 6-2. That gives them 3 hitters blocking at the net instead of 2 hitters and their setter.
Nice slide there by Gwyn Jones. That's kind of her specialty right there. They like to get her involved, and kind of making a living doing that is number 18. Gwyn, the transfer from Auburn. Ryan Tice saying she fit into this Marquette program from day one. Wirch with the serve. And the soft touch by Sophia Howling.
Yeah, Ellie Kuntz from Marquette read that. She just didn't get to covering up the back of the block soon enough. Great job by Villanova.
Howling, a transfer from Hawaii. Came across the ocean and then across the country to play for the Wildcats. There's Jones again. Gwyn on the slide. They feed her and she gets involved early here. 7-5 Marquette.
And a great 5 ball there from Sarah Rose, like back set to Jones. We'll see if Villanova has an answer to it the next time Jones gets up on that right side.
Gwyn with the save. And then a back row save by Delaplane. That works for Nova. It wasn't pretty, but effective for the Cats.
Well, and Emma Decker, number 4, the senior setter for the Wildcats, she's been a big and physical player all year, and that's one thing that she does well at 6'3", is she'll take that 2 ball and catch the defense sleeping.
Yeah, Josh Steinbach says if she's playing well, we're playing well as a team. Nova looking for the equalizer. Wind up there from the southpaw, Ellie Kuntz. That one sent deep. Rose goes Vandenberg, and Hannah delivers. Vandenberg out of nearby Little Chute, Wisconsin. She's had a big year. Started the season as a role player. But with some injuries, Michelle, she had to step up her game, and boy, did she ever.
Absolutely, and she made the Big East all-freshman team.
Marquette remains in front for the moment. Middle poke there by Olszewski. There's Vandenberg again. I think she thought that point was over, but the Cats dug it out. Orff takes a swing. Elizabeth now in the middle for Marquette. Barnes back in there, cross-cut it. Flipped over by Vandenberg, but it goes OB.
Great defense by both teams right now, picking up huge digs. Speckman with that last one for Marquette. Went up to the net, but unfortunately, Vandenberg just tapped it just wide.
Here's Anna Morse to serve. A bullet to Vandenberg. Barber back in there, delivers. They rotate Allie out from the back row. And most times she won't serve, but she'll come back in. And when she's in, they take advantage of number 10 back in the front row.
And what a beautiful set from Speckman. Gives her a nice high ball off the pin. And the cross-court shot from Barber splits the defense for the kill.
Barber pauses and then finished it. Back row, Decker was there, but it sailed on the other side of the antenna. Marquette up 10-7. Vandenberg, ooh, going low was Reagan low. And then that one sails deep on Delaplane. Claire kind of wincing, knew that she'd had too much on it. Marquette +4.
She was a little too quick in her approach on that ball. Hit through it, not down on top of it.
This one controlled by the Cats. They go middle, deadened by Speckman. Wind up by Wirch, and Wirch connects for Marquette.
And great call from the back row of Marquette, telling Wirch where to hit that ball. They were screaming high, 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 which means hit high off that block.
And Josh Steinbach not happy with the back row for Villanova. He burns a timeout with Marquette extending its lead to 12-7 here. As we mentioned, best of 5 sets. You play each set to 25. If we go to a 5th and final set, then it gets fun. It's the first of 15. The winner will advance to the Big East Championship. He played here in Milwaukee at the Al McGuire Center, 3:30 p.m. local time here in Wisconsin for the matchup. And the winner here gets the winner of either Creighton or St. John's. We'll have that for you here, streaming live on the Big East Digital Network. And Allie Barber, all smiles, and rightfully so. Second time. She was the Big East Player of the Year as a freshman, Michelle. Jaylee Winters of Creighton took home that honor last year. But Allie, once again, she was preseason Player of the Year, and then all she did was go out and produce his eye-popping numbers across the board.
Yeah, she's the all-time career kills leader here at Marquette. Played left side her first year, was a middle, and then has been playing right side for the last 3 years. And actually, they moved her back over to the left side. But her stats have never dropped off. She's amazingly consistent and efficient. And can score so many ways on different spots from the court.
And she's a pre-med major. And, I mean, she's carrying a heavy load here at Marquette. She's also doing it in the classroom and doing it well. So just well-rounded in the world of Allie Barber. 12-7 Marquette, out of the TO, back to work. Cats try to gather it in. They find Delaplane up and over the hands, and good job by Speckman to get there, but not enough air underneath it. So important point there for Nova, Michelle.
Absolutely. Coming out of a timeout, you always want to get the kill in serve receive. And a great pass here to Delaplane. Delaplane reads the defense. There's nobody behind that block, so she just taps it right over.
Speckman flip it back to Orff. Down the line she goes, and net violation.
Yeah, Coach Speckman is wondering, or Steinbach, excuse me, is wondering what was that. And the down officials said that the back of one of the players' jerseys came in contact with the net. Let's see if we can see it here. Oh yeah, 33, Delaplane when she came down.
Yep.
You can see that touch. Good call by the official.
Marquette by 5, make it 4, Delaplane, they go right back to Claire and she delivers.
What a nice offensive set there by the Wildcats. They used number 1, Sophia Howling, as that decoy that drew Barber and Jones over to the block, and that gave a free lane for Delaplane for the kill.
Sarah Ullman tickled the tape. Middle, Wirch, rejected, Howling was there.
Yeah, and the Wildcats did not bite on Gwyn Jones's slide whatsoever because they saw that set was nice and close to the net. They knew that that ball was going to be coming to the middle. A nice 2-ball, Wirch goes up high to get it, but the block was that much better.
Yeah, Howling's at 6'2". She's one player that Nova can have that can hang with the bigs on Marquette's side. In comes Sarah Rose to serve. And service error there. So Nova, quality timeout because they didn't let Marquette run away and hide. They're within striking distance here, down just 3. And Delaplane to serve. To Wirch. And Gwyn Jones still on the slide, Michelle, but in midair, she took a little something off of it.
And Villanova needs to keep their eye on Jones and Sarah Rose. That is Sarah Rose's favorite target when she's in their setting, whereas Speckman has Wirch or Barber to go to in that front row.
This one tight at the net. And out of reach there. Good swing and cut by Mallory Potts.
And Vandenberg was just a little late releasing off that net to take that angle shot away from Potts.
Potts is the type of player, she can score against most teams, but it's got to be the perfect angle. When it's a bad angle, then she struggles. Like most players, right? Good angle there, but Vandenberg just missed. The whole squad at Marquette is looking at Ryan Tice saying, get the card out, coach, and Ryan will do just that. They think it was inbounds.
And each coach gets 3 challenges. If there goes to a 5th set, they do get a 4th one. But you can only challenge the net, a foot fault, a call that was out, or a call that was in. We'll take a look at it here.
This might be better, a little wider angle as you look at the angle from Vandenberg, and
that ball was in from what I see. It touched in any part of that ball that hits any part of that line, and sure enough, I think it actually hit Brown.
Yeah, did it touch Reagan Lowe? Did Lowe get out of the way?
She did.
Okay.
On that first camera angle that we had, Lowe kind of did the karate kick and missed it.
Yeah, so the question is not if there was a touch, but whether or not this might be a cross court, it might be difficult. Yeah, sure looks in, even from that angle. As you said, Michelle, even if it touches the line, it's like in baseball, the foul line is actually in play. So if you clip a piece of the white, that's in, and they'll take a look at it, zoom in from every angle possible.
Well, and great job to our camera crew getting multiple angles of that shot for us to be able to see.
Here's another angle from net cam. Oh, was there a touch there?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
So Lowe didn't get it. So now you're looking at 2 pieces here. Fingertip touch at the net. Was it in after it hit the floor?
You see Olsenoski, who is furthest away from the pin in that block. It looked like it hit her right hand. And that's another thing that you can also call is the challenge is the touch.
Boy, a lot to unpack on our first replay this afternoon. All right. Point Nova. Well, Ryan Tice, as most coaches will, they put the trust in the players to make that call.
Well, they just signaled down, but then they gave the point to Marquette.
Ah, okay. So the signal was that the ball was in. Yeah, you're correct,
Yes.
Michelle. Ball was in, point Marquette. So the score is correct on your screen, 16-12, with Quinn Jones to serve. Feed it over to Potts. Jones is there. Vandenberg winds up, cuts it, and Vandenberg came right back to her on the delivery from Reagan Lowe. She delivers.
And that's difficult to do when you have that overpass come in. Sometimes freshman players and even high school players get too anxious and they'll hit that into the net, but she did a great job timing that ball and smacking it to the floor.
Middle, nicely done. Olszanowski, all Big East first teamer, senior. She is the heart and soul of this Nova squad, is Olszanowski.
And they've got to get her going, both from that outside and the middle. She gives that versatility that Villanova needs on offense.
Serve from Emma Decker. Aha! Ellie Kuntz, little sneaky.
That was just a smart shot from the sophomore. She didn't have to put a huge windup in it. She was off the net, and that's where Villanova did not a great job in the back row. You know that ball's off the net, then you got to take your back row and deepen them to pick up those long balls.
Good answer there by Potts. See, that's what we're talking about with Potts. Josh Steinbach said, you know, when they get her balls in system, in tempo, in rhythm, she can do some damage.
And they need her to continue to get these kills because Villanova is hanging around, but Marquette's getting awfully close to 20.
Yeah, getting late here in Milwaukee, 1914. Vandenberg. And everyone ducks for cover in the back row. Good call by the Wildcats. Sophia Howling returns front and center for Nova. And Maddie Sheeter, a freshman from Pennsylvania, in to serve. She has played sparingly this year as a freshman, but has a great serve, and you can see it right there. Orff cuts it, and then flipped over by Delaplane. Good reaction by Claire in stride, Michelle. She just stayed with it, flipped it over the D.
Well, that all started with that serve from Anna Morris. You mentioned Coach Tice taking Vandenberg out of that back row, putting in Katie Cheso on the serve receive, and actually that worked out very well for Villanova.
Good get in the back row by Morris on the barber swing. Speckman over to Wirch. Got it.
Beautiful, quick tempo offense there, staying in system, giving Wirch that quick 5-ball.
That's when Marquette is lethal at the net, because if you don't flip it back to Wirch, you got Barber over here on the left, so pick your poison. 2016 Golden Eagles. Knavadov on the serve. Barnes. Knavadov is there. Wirch. Barnes again. Wirch on the block. It goes OB.
Yeah, Wirch moving over quickly to take that block. Goes right off the hands. Good job by Villanova to push that tempo.
Allman to serve. Played a lot of beach volleyball back in the day at her home state in California. Barber just nailed it off the hands of Howling and Decker. No chance on the other side.
And she makes it look so effortless and so easy.
Sarah Rose to serve. Marquette up 4 within 4, taking the first set. Floater across. On the slide, Howling. Wirch was there to stop it. And on the touch, yep. Ellie Kuntz again coming up with some big points here as Kuntz.
And great job by Sarah Rose to use all 3 hitters at that net. You've got Gwyn Jones in the middle, Hope Wirch. So that really keeps Villanova guessing as she does that back set to Kuntz.
Timeout called by Villanova. They trail it 22-17. We mentioned this is the first time that these two teams have met since they were part of the Big East and since they had this 4-team tournament. Last year, we had the same 4 teams that we feature in 2019, but it was St. John's playing Marquette in the first semifinal. Villanova got Creighton in the semifinal. And Marquette and Creighton advanced, played in Omaha in 2018. Blue Jays won it again. We'll see them later today, 5:30 Central Time here in Milwaukee. Creighton won the regular season title. Their lone loss in the Big East, Michelle touched on it. It came against this Villanova squad, so that's why that is eye-opening for everyone in the Big East, because Creighton doesn't give away a whole lot. And it's always been a good matchup over the years. Josh Steinbach says they just always seem to have, they don't necessarily have Creighton's number, but the matchups are good for them. Middle, Howling, delivered. And it was all because of the great dig on the serve, Michelle.
Yeah, excellent job by Villanova picking up that short serve from Sarah Rose. That is one of her specialty pieces that Coach Tice goes for. Last year, she didn't set a lot. She came in more as a role player, but now she's setting in the 6-2 offense.
Delaplane went deep. Kuntz. And there's Ellie again.
And Ellie is so versatile as she's hitting from that right side. As you mentioned, she's a southpaw, but that time she's hitting out of the middle. And a lot of times as a defense, when you have a lefty, that just kind of throws off your defense and you're not quite sure how to adjust.
Yeah, Ryan Tice says she's not the traditional kills player, but she plays angles and she uses that left-handed angle to her advantage. Mallory Potts jumping for joy after that kill.
Well, and look at the determination on her face after that set. She means business.
Villanova, they ride that emotional roller coaster. They use it to their advantage. Rose to Vandenberg, comes back quick. Hannah winds up again. Allman was there. And off the contact, yep. Nova tallies again, within 3, 23-20.
They're feeding Potts now. She's heating up now with 4 kills. Delaplane leading the Wildcats with 6.
We're gonna have another challenge on the touch. Ryan Tice was pretty close in the neighborhood there to take a look at it. He thought there was no touch. We'll start to dissect it here.
So the ball hits the net. The question is, did it get touched by Ellie Kuntz or not?
Now check this angle. Yep. And then does it go OB? It hits the net, which makes you think definitely out of bounds.
Right. In my perspective there, it does not even come close to Ellie Kuntz's right arm.
And you can see why the official might see with all the hands up there, it's like there was probably a touch because the net moves, causing the ball to move. But yeah, I think it missed Kuntz. And again, Ryan Tice, you see him down the line, he's signaling out. He had a good angle there as well. The hit from Potts tickles the tape, definitely lands on the blue side of the line, so that's not in question. It's a matter of, did Kuntz get a piece of it or not? And that's what they're dialing up for a second look. Kind of a big point here too as well. Swing point here that each team would certainly like to have, so that's why it's critical.
Yeah, with Marquette up 3 right now. that closes the gap for Villanova if it stays in their corner.
And if it flips, Marquette's on the doorstep of taking the first set. Kuntz gets up there.
You can see space between the ball and the blue of Kuntz's arm. And give Kuntz a lot of credit as the placement of that block. She came down and landed right on the line. So the space that they gave Potts to hit that was between the antenna and the sideline.
And the official telling Ryan Tice that didn't see enough there to overturn the original call. Again, the original call was that there was a touch by Kuntz and Marquette. So Nova keeps the point, down by 3. Kanavidov goes low. There's Vandenberg. Sprawling was Reagan Lowe. And little sneak attack there. We saw Nova have a point that wasn't pretty. Now it's Marquette's turn, and it puts them on the doorstep to take set number 1.
Well, and so smart from Sarah Rose. I mean, she's only 5'7", and she just dumps that over onto it. Just a little smile and like, yep, thank you.
And now Gabby Martinez, she comes off the bench. She can get critical points, which is what Ryan Tice is hoping for. Close out set number 1. Deep serve to Sarah Ullman. Push back on Potts. Mallory just flips it across. Marquette goes to work. Kuntz. Ooh. Almost had one more sneaky point in her to close this out, but Nova will take it and stay alive.
Well, Sarah Rose changed her mind at the last minute. I really thought she was going to go to the outside hitter, but she decided to reverse that ball and go opposite to Kuntz.
Decker to serve. Has a good serve as well. That one took a little something off of it. They go back to Kuntz. Lowe was there. Potts. Kanavidov in the back. Vandenberg the windup. Comes over on 1. Kuntz again. Decker dragged it in. From the back, Delaplane. Vandenberg rejected. How about it? Olsonowski at the net.
Well, and this is a tough spot for Marquette to be in right now. You don't have Barber in that front row. You don't have Wirch in that front row. So you're relying on a freshman and a sophomore at the net to hit, and they can't quite connect. And Villanova's doing an excellent job on defense.
Kuntz snuck it in. Just found a piece of the floor here at the Al, and Marquette survives a gritty Villanova first set to win it 25-22. We'll change sides here in Milwaukee and come back with set number 2.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in. I think SoFi Money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Day after Thanksgiving in Milwaukee and home cooking for the Golden Eagles. You take the first set with Villanova, 25-22. Michelle, you look at the numbers from that first set, as close as it was down the stretch, the hitting percentages were identical. Both teams hitting at a high level of .333.
Well, I think what really also stands out, besides that hitting percentage, is for Marquette, Ellie Kuntz with 4 kills. Who knew she would come over in and take over that game down the stretch? And we haven't talked about Reagan Lowe for Villanova. She's the libero, 9 digs. Villanova really made Marquette struggle to finish off that last set. They really ramped their defense up.
So as we mentioned, they turn them around here in Milwaukee. Marquette with the white tops, navy and Columbia blue trim. They're on the left of your screen. On the right, Villanova, all navy head to toe with a little white and Columbia blue tossed in there. We go to set number 2 here in Milwaukee. Had a lot of good action, had video reviews. A little bit of everything there to kick things off here in the 2019 Big East Volleyball Championships. And Lauren Speckman will get the proceedings underway with an ace. It ate up Olszanowski.
Deep serve there by Speckman. The back row of Villanova not communicating as to who is going to take that serve.
Speckman battled injuries all year, but healthy now when they need her with the postseason lurking. Mallory Potts, yeah, you're laughing too, aren't you?
Yeah, missed it big time, but it worked.
And every time, I mean, she jumps, she's got that kick where she elevates. Every point's like that. Every point's special to 15. Why not? Get excited. Knavadov is there. They'll go to Barber, and Allie snuck it in. Jammed it in on Olszanowski. And Barnes were over there.
You're not going to see a lot of celebration out of number 10. Allie pretty much smiles, and that's just how she plays. It's always aggressive. It's always smart volleyball, but she doesn't get super excited.
How about Barnes? Sanaa, all right, she's listed at 5'9". Josh Steinbach says, no, it's more like 5'7", but look at the vertical.
Yeah, that's crazy how high she reaches to hit that set from Decker.
She can touch 10 feet, which is going up at 5'7" and touching the rim on a basketball court. There's Howling. She can touch a rim, no doubt, at 6'2". Good springs as well.
Delaplana Howling, a great job in that tandem block. Putting it right down in between 4 Marquette players.
Olszanowski to serve, Villanova +1. Poked to Vandenberg. Warch with a little flip, Barnes is there. Orff, yeah, she'd probably want that one back. Elizabeth tried to poke it near the Nova bench, but too much on it.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you need to set it up, give it to Speckman, let Speckman work something, especially when you have Allie Barber in that front row.
Cross court to Barber. And Howling is there.
And you're not going to see that happen very often against Allie Barber. All of the teams in the Big East have had a really difficult time blocking her. And Sophia Howling, that's twice now. She elevates in her hang time, textbook press across that net.
Barber again. You go right back to her if you're Marquette, and she delivers that time. Yeah, we mentioned Howling is someone, and you've seen it here a few times already today, that she can hang with Barber. She can hang with the bigs that Marquette has. And that's important for Villanova. Because if you don't have that, then it could be a tough afternoon. There is Barnes again. Now, why can she sky at just 5'7"? Well, she's an All-American high jumper, indoor and outdoor at Villanova. When they recruited her to Philadelphia, they said, you can come and do both. You can be on the track team and the volleyball team, and that made her smile.
A lot of box jumping, Bob. A lot of box jumping in the offseason, getting ready for both of those sports.
Allie Barber don't need no box. She just stayed on the trampoline, stayed with it, punched it down for the point. Marquette down by 2. Sarah Rose to serve. Tight at the net. And that was smart by Decker. There's that veteran presence. She knew the best play was the smart play, and that was just dumping.
Well, and that's why Coach Steinbach, runs that 5-1, because he's got a setter that's 6'3", and she can take that tight pass to the net and put it over on 2. Caught Marquette sleeping.
Ellie Kuntz, the X factor so far for the Golden Eagles.
I like what I'm seeing out of her right now. That is her 5th kill. I wasn't sure how much Coach Tice was going to rely on her this year, as her kills are not traditional. But she can hit sharp, and she definitely can hit down.
Potts on the swing, contact on Marquette's side, so Nova takes that point, stays in front at 8-5.
Yeah, Potts is a lot of fun to play when she gets on that net in the front row. She brings all of that energy, and it can really change the momentum for Nova.
Vandenberg had to reach back to get it. Now Martha runs in to tap it over. Potts, Wirch is there. Vandenberg, stuck back by Decker.
So the blocking has really come alive right now with Villanova. You can see here they slide all the way over as Rose is giving that 4-ball to Vandenberg on the pin, and that gives plenty of time for that block to shift and set up on the outside hitter.
Comes back, serve into the net, back to Marquette, trailing by 3, and Gwyn Jones. Ooh, that one ate up Delaplane. Now Claire will wind up and send it deep. Over to Vandenberg. Lowe saved it. Potts swings at it and connects. And then happy, happy, joy, joy, as per usual for Mallory.
Again, the libero play out of Reagan Lowe has been spectacular, especially ending that first set, and a great dig there. It really sets up that shot by Potts.
Decker to Wirch. Go back to Kuntz, and there's the lefty again. Ellie is operating with high efficiency here for Marquette.
And sometimes when you bring in that lefty, as I mentioned earlier, it can really throw off the defense. And give credit to the setter, Sarah Rose, for mixing things up and catching Villanova's blocking to get there a little too slow.
Speckman into the net. Back to Nova. Cats stay in front. Sheeter comes in to serve. And this is her specialty as a freshman. Her contribution is to come in and make teams do that. Got him out of system, but somehow got it over the net. Barnes winds up, blocked by Orff. Barber was there as well. That's a big wall, Michelle.
It sure is, especially when you're 5'7", no matter how many hops you have. Going up against 6'5" and 6'3", you're not going to win that too many times.
Vandenberg serve. Decker will flip it back to Barnes. Circling under. Wirtz winds up and out of the reach of Decker on the other end.
And great decoy by Orff yelling, me, me, me. You watch Orff as she goes up in the middle and takes the blocker, number 8, Olsenowski, to pause a moment and not close out on Wirtz, the hitter.
Decker didn't try it that time. Back set it to Olsenowski. Marquette goes to work, gets it to Barber, and that's that.
And smart by Decker because Barber was there waiting for that hit on 2, and I don't think it would have been successful. So a smart move by the senior setter for Villanova.
So Nova set the early tone here in set number 2. Now Marquette a chance to tie things up here at 11. Delaplane blocked. Claire again. And she'll get the point. That's what you do with your stud players. Claire got rejected, hit the reset button. They went right back to her to finish it off.
When she tallies her 7th kill, leading the Wildcats in that category.
Vandenberg caromed off of her. Who wants it? Wirtz takes it, dumps it. Delaplane again, off the hands of Orff. Speckman got it over. Decker, middle, Howling. Barber's turn, delivers. She just waited and waited for everybody else to run around, chase volleyballs down, and then when Marquette could find number 10, kaboom.
Yeah, and Villanova had every single chance with those free balls to get a kill, and they just weren't able to capitalize.
Howling, soft touch. Barber, and Howling stuffs it back again. Boy, Sophia has come up big against the best player in the Big East this year, Allie Barber.
Well, and she knows the only hitter up there right now is going to be Barber when they get out of system. Hope Wirtz took that pass, gave it to the setter, and Howling just was like, yep, Barber's getting it. I'm going to time it right.
Yeah, good work by Sophia. That's where the videotape work comes in. That's where you watch and look at tendencies, measure yourself, know where you're supposed to be because you know where they're going to be.
Coming into this match, Howling had 110 total blocks to lead Villanova.
Point Marquette. Trickle over, threw everybody off, as you'll see. You're expecting one thing, and then when that happens, it's like, yeah. We're tied at 13. Sarah Rose again. And she tried to do the exact same thing. Didn't get the friendly roll that time.
And Marquette lives and dies by their serve receive. They try to be aggressive. They try to do, especially with Rose, those little short serves, which has been effective, but she's also had a couple of errors.
From the back, Vandenberg deposits in the back row.
Nice 10 ball right at the 10-foot line from Sarah Rose. And the freshman gets the kill.
Tied again, 14 apiece. Hope Wirtz coming back. And Gwyn Jones swatted at it. And Marquette in front, 15-14. Timeout on the floor. Media timeout. Gives everyone a chance to take a little breath here. Again, coming up, 5:30 local time, Central Time here in the Midwest. It'll be Creighton, the #1 seeds, the winners of the regular season, against the 4th place team from St. John's. Tournament was held in Omaha last year, Michelle. It goes back to Creighton in 2020.
I was going to say, I'm excited for that next match because St. John's, traveling all the way from New York, brought their band. their drum line.
They did, yeah.
I'm excited to hear what that sounds like.
Yeah.
I know most universities are on break right now, and sometimes you will see Marquette's pep band come to their volleyball matches, but I guarantee most of them have gone home for holiday break.
We mentioned that Creighton has won this tournament the last 5 years. The last team other than Creighton to win the Big East championship in this mini tournament, this Final Four, was a Marquette team. But none of these players, it's how long ago it was, Michelle. None of these players, they were all still in high school, even the seniors. So Creighton has had the impressive run year after year after year after, is that 5?
Yeah, and that wasn't even with Coach Tice. That
No.
was with Coach Bon Szymanski right before he left to go coach at Iowa, which he is no longer there.
So we shall see if history repeats itself once again. First things first, got to survive the semifinals here in Milwaukee. Battle at the net, poked over by Vandenberg, and out of the reach of everybody. Josh Steinbach, he's looking for a roll on the Marquette side.
And he's got a legit gripe because
I think he's looking at Gwen Jones.
Yeah.
Did she roll it off to give it life, to give Vandenberg a chance to poke it deep?
Because at first when I saw that play, it didn't look like it was clean, but somehow Vandenberg got it over.
And Hannah caroms off the net, caroms off a cat. Marquette in front by 3.
You know, and Vandenberg made the all-freshman team in the Big East. And she has done a tremendous job in her first Big East semifinals, 6 kills, and has done a great job passing in that back row as well.
Well, Josh Steinbach senses what is actually going on. There is a momentum switch here. And so timeout called by the Wildcats as Marquette opens up its biggest lead here of the second set at +3. I asked Josh, I said, what's the challenge with Marquette? You saw him twice. And then his answer was simple. The challenges remain the same. They're physical, they're talented. He said no one in the league has the answer for Barber. Now we've seen Sophia Howling have an answer at times, but he's right. No one in the Big East has an answer on a consistent basis where you shut her down completely. And if you do that, you're taking over the match.
But for Marquette, it hasn't been the Allie Barber show. I mean, it's been Vandenberg, Wirch, Jones, and Ellie Kuntz. I mean, they're really spreading the wealth on offense. And that's keeping Villanova on their toes, trying to figure out where they need to set up that block at the net and where that back row needs to play on defense.
Hope Wirch to serve again for Marquette out of the timeout. And again, Wildcats optimal for them. They needed the point, they get it. And back to serve and Reagan Lowe. Reagan, not all Big East this year. She was last season. Last year, she was the Big East leader in digs per set. Always busy. Little tip drill at the net. We play on Kuntz and got it. Boy, Ellie Kuntz, have an afternoon.
Well, and a great pickup. I believe that was by Vandenberg to get it back up to Sarah Rose. And Sarah Rose had Jones running a quick in the middle, but she opted to go back to Kuntz, and Kuntz didn't even get a full swing on it. She just pushed it over enough to get the point.
Marquette has gone after the back row of Villanova. And that one too much by Potts. They've caught the Wildcats at times, Michelle, sneaking up. And timeout Villanova again, trailing by 4 at 19-15.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the momentum has swung into the Golden Eagles.
Ryan Tice, 6th season as the head coach here in Milwaukee at Marquette. recruits a lot of Wisconsin kids. Ellie Kuntz is from Minnesota, Minneapolis. But a lot of Wisconsin kids dot the roster.
In the season.
In Madison, too.
In Madison. And I believe Wisconsin is still undefeated in Big Ten play and is currently ranked, I think, 6th.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
In the country.
Yeah, the Badgers and Marquette representing well here in the state of Wisconsin.
Well, and give a lot of credit to Coach Tice. I mean, they have the hardest schedule of all of the teams in the Big East. They played Baylor, who's been the top-ranked team in the country. They also played Illinois and almost beat Illinois, who's been lurking in the teens in rankings as well.
Potts delivers. Again, out of the timeout, had to have it, and they get it. They trail by 3.
And it was good to see her get that setback, because what forced the timeout was the fact that she had a hitting error, and they wanted to set things up again and get her confidence going.
So now Decker to serve. Ooh. That one tough to swallow when it's late in the set. 20-16 Marquette. In comes Speckman.
Especially when Villanova came out hot. You know, dropping that first set, they came out and was playing very clean volleyball.
Decker to Barnes. Good elevation, but Wirtz was there. Now Holt from the back row. Still alive? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they missed Potts underneath the net with her with her legs. She was over the line.
And got it. Nova earning that point. That was tremendous hustle on both sides. Watch underneath. Yeah, you're right, Michelle.
Twice. Yeah, she was underneath twice.
And then, yep, you don't hear the whistle. Play on, and Potts delivers. Vandenberg. Orff in the middle. And that got it done. Elizabeth provides most of the defense. She's in there to block. But every once in a while like that, they will feed her. And Orff is a player from Marquette that she can get on a run. She can, if she gets some good looks, she can do some damage.
Well, and that was the first quick they ran to a middle all afternoon.
And there's Orff and Barber with the block on Barnes.
And Orff is the life of this team. I mean, she is so much fun. She plays loose. She's goofy. It just has a big personality. I love watching her play.
Marquette by 5. Sheeter went low to get that. Little roll by Delaplane. Kanavidov to Barber. And the block goes OB.
Great read by Allie, hitting angle and hitting it high off the hands.
And Marquette starting to extend here, up by 6 in set number 2. Vandenberg to serve. Decker circles under, middle that time. Speckman was there. Vandenberg softly across. Tight at the net. Potts, tough angle there. Or Delaplane, I beg your pardon. Coming back hot, and Barber is there.
I don't want to be anywhere near that net on that overpass.
No one does.
With Barber hitting a heavy ball, I'm afraid I'm going to get that off my face.
Blue and gold fans come to their feet here at the Al McGuire Center. Set point available for the Golden Eagles. And not yet. From the middle, Olszanowski keeps Nova alive. And now Allison to serve. To Kanavidov. It's Orff. It's coming back. It's Wirtz. Off the hands and down. Marquette 25, Villanova 18. Golden Eagles up 2-0 in our best of 5. Break time here in Milwaukee. Come on back for set number 3.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in. I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Hallelujah. And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
What is a Villanovan? In 30 seconds? Well, Villanovans aim high. Top 50 National University high. We think fast and stay connected. V's up. Villanovans think deeply, push boundaries, and go, go, go! Still with me? We climb corporate ladders and these ladders. This campus is our home, but you can find us almost anywhere. Villanovans have big hearts and solve even bigger problems, and we celebrate together. Ignite change, go Nova.
Welcome back into the Al McGuire Center. Marquette took the first two sets against Villanova here in our Big East semifinals. And I asked Marquette's head coach, Ryan Tice, what do you want people to know about this squad that you have? And he said, I would want them to know that these girls are even smarter off the court than they are on the court. The team has a 3.4 GPA. Some of them far exceed that, he said. He also said that these girls are just great people. He said probably about half this team has done community service trips where they've gone to developing countries, helped build sports facilities, schools, churches, all kinds of things. And he said that that really speaks to the character of this team and the sportsmanship that you see play out on the court.
Back here at the Al McGuire Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the campus of Marquette University, fans enjoying the St. John's Red Storm drum line. Making some good racket here at the Al. All right, we've touched on a couple of the all Big East performers with these two squads. Here is everybody, whether they're in Milwaukee or not. And you see the names, a lot of repeats from years gone by, a lot of repeat first teamers. And Creighton, of course, well represented again. We'll see them along with St. John's, who has 3 first timers as well. Konovatov, Wirch, and Ali Barber for Marquette. And again, Barber, the Big East Player of the Year. Vandenberg for Marquette, the Big East freshman team member, along with Kathleen Johnson of Villanova, who we haven't seen play yet. Johnson's going to be a good one. She's provided some good moments, some quality points for Villanova in their run here during the regular season. But right now, Josh Steinbach and company leaning on the veterans. And right now, facing elimination here in the Big East semifinals.
Yeah, Bob, we mentioned in the open the blocking for Villanova. Was it going to be there to try to slow down Marquette's offense? And they have 12 blocking assists as a team, but Marquette is still hitting above 300, 343 right now. Barber's leading the way with 11. Ellie Kuntz, the surprise, was 7. Wirch was 6, and Vandenberg was 6 kills. On the other side of the net, Villanova led by Mallory Potts and Claire Delaplane with 9 and 7 kills respectively.
So Nova getting there at times, especially Sophia Howling, providing some defense against Marquette. But Marquette still swinging away and pulling away there in that second set. An ace to start set number 3 as Nova now on the left of your screen, Marquette on the right. And Reagan Lowe back to work here for the Wildcats. To Vandenberg. To Barber. And again, she just hits it so hard. The block is there, Michelle, but unless you deaden it enough for the back row to do something with it, then case closed.
Well, and that's the problem. The back row can't ever really get to it because Allie swings such a heavy ball high off those hands that ball continues its momentum and goes usually out of bounds.
Vandenberg into the net for Marquette, back to Nova and Emma Decker. Decker, you saw her on that all Big East squad. Moves the ball around, locates so very well in her role as the setter. Decker gives it life here. And there is Johnson, the freshman, Kathleen. And Johnson is there, along with Olsonowski, for the putback.
When Barber mistimed that hit, she wasn't able to get a full swing on it. It came off her hands a little odd, too. And like you mentioned, Johnson there, elevated above the net, hands pressed over.
Johnson in there for Barnes at the moment, so Josh Steinbach looking for a little change of pace now. Barber, second time. And again, same situation as we saw a couple points ago. Defense is there, they deaden it, but out of the reach. Point Marquette.
And Villanova's doing a really good job right now with serving and keeping Marquette out of system. But Speckman is such a smart setter. And when you have Allie Barber in that front row, you don't have to give her the perfect set to hit.
Johnson's still in there on the left side now. She's a freshman out of Houston, Texas. Josh Steinbach said earlier this week that she should play more, but just tough to find more time or spots for her with the bodies they have. That went into the net, couldn't quite trickle over. Point for Marquette, we're tied at 3. But keep your eyes on Johnson here. See if she can be an X factor for Nova here in set number 3. They feed her right there. Block is there for Marquette. Johnson again, little roll shot that Wirch somehow kept alive. And Barber had it blocked. I think that was Olsonowski. Yes, it was, number 8, in a great spot.
Yeah, when they know Speckman is setting, Barber's going to be there with her. And Speckman continues to feed Barber. And the block for Villanova just hangs around the right side of that net. And they've done a great job of slowing Barber down.
There's Jones on the slide, and she does what she do.
She's been a great addition to this Marquette squad, just adding another weapon, but also another voice. She is a leader, even though Coach Tice said we got plenty of voices, we got plenty of leaders, but you know what? We'll take her anyway.
Yeah, it's a different voice. Sometimes you need a different voice amongst all your leaders. And that one sails on Sarah Rose. So now Olsonowski to serve. Josh Steinbach says it's one of his favorite players of all time. She's the glue kid. You got to have at least one glue kid. They're invaluable. Jones again, and Gwen will tell you, I mean, she's got a smile on her face because she'll tell you that wasn't intended.
Not at all, but sometimes the best plays come from broken plays. A nice slide, but she timed it too quickly, and the ball not quite enough to the net by Rose. Good adjustment, though.
Vandenberg, room service, special delivery on the quick one-timer, back to her.
And now I'm looking at Vandenberg more. I remember we called her match, I think it was last year at State when she was a senior.
Yeah, in Wisconsin.
For Coach Anna Moss up at Little Chute.
As Wirch delivers an ace, trickle it off the tape.
Hope Wirch, a Wisconsin product. As you mentioned, Coach Tice recruits a lot from Wisconsin, and we had Wirch at State as well as the Mosier girls. Maddie, unfortunately, the seniors on the bench with an injury.
There's Kathleen Johnson. She'll check out, but did some good things here to start set number 3 for Nova.
She sure did. And no block, able to close out. Johnson goes right between the pin and Vandenberg.
Wirch is there. Vandenberg, wide open, back row. And Hannah had no problem finding that piece of the floor.
And you know, with Allie Barber being a senior and graduating, you always kind of wonder, okay, who's gonna fill those shoes, which are so difficult to fill, but I really like what I'm seeing out of the freshman Vandenberg.
On the slide, Howling, didn't time it. Yeah, both these teams, Michelle, when they lose their seniors to graduation, they're still in good, both programs still in good hands. There are plenty of youngins that will step into those roles and play bigger roles next year. On the touch, Delaplane, who's only a sophomore, connects there for Nova.
And that's her 8th kill. She was pretty quiet in set number 2. I believe coming out of set number 1, she had 6 kills. Yeah, she had 6 kills. So only 1 kill in that second set.
Coombs had it stuffed. Vandenberg on the left side, off the hands, and down it goes.
And what Vandenberg brings to this team is a 6 rotation player. Allie Barber really excels in 3 rotations in that front row. But Vandenberg goes all the way through, and she's done a great job serving and also playing defense in the back row.
Punch by Potts. Wirch was there. Barber back in, snuck it in.
Great job by Allie not to attack that block. She's been stuffed the last couple times. She also took a look where the defense was set up, and as you notice here, there's a huge gap around that 10-foot line we call the campfire.
Yep.
Nobody closed out in time for Villanova.
Potts off the block. Orff and Vandenberg were there, but Potts just destroyed it.
And that's her 10th kill. I love the energy out of Potts. Just a junior, so she'll be back next year for Coach Steinbach.
There are just 4 seniors on both sides. That was easy for Olsenowski. She's a senior, but again, Nova's got 4, Marquette's got 4, so they will each lose some key players, but the cupboards certainly are not bare in Milwaukee or Philadelphia. Nova within 2. Barber. And when she winds up, I'm with you, Michelle. Duck, roll, run for cover. She is lethal.
Well, and what a lot of people don't know about Allie is she played varsity basketball for 4 years at Cedarburg, which is just a half-hour drive up the road. She was also being recruited to play Division I basketball. And I know at the time the coach here at Marquette wanted her to play here, and they were trying to figure out, can she play volleyball? Can she play basketball?
Ooh.
And Allie's like, you know what? My first love is volleyball.
And do pre-med? Yeah, I don't think so. It's too much on the plate. She made a good call. Great career. Orff. And that one dug out by Reagan Lowe, but it came back hot off the net. No chance for the folks in front, so Marquette up 3.
And of course, Barber's getting a lot of attention, as is Hope Wirch, who was in that front row. And Speckman did a great job feeding the ball to number 23, Orff.
Gathered in by Delaplane. Run off by Potts, and she played it nicely. Took something off of it, which was the good play with Barber lurking.
She's a really smart player, and I would say she's the floor general out there. Even though she's not setting the table, she's not passing the ball up, she is that energy that just keeps everybody on that Nova team going.
Cats down 2. Barber again. Nope, off the antenna that time. Break for Nova, because we've seen that freight train coming and tough to stop.
That was a tough ball to hit from Speckman. Barber didn't have a lot to work with.
Jones on the slide. Dug out by Sheeter in the back, and then Nova tallies to tie it. Finished off by Olszanowski.
Excellent defense by Sheeter, the freshman. Speckman had a long way to go with that 5 ball to the slide on to Gwyn Jones. And Sheeter read that beautifully.
In the net it goes. And Maddie told you about her serving prowess. Can be very good, but she's also turning into one of the team's better passers, which was the case there. Kuntz back in front row and center for Marquette with Rose to serve.
And this is a must-win game or set for Villanova.
Jones finished it off. And we had Cats up and over the net anyway. Regardless, Marquette will get the point, and we'll get a timeout here in Milwaukee, with the Golden Eagles leading it by 2 with 15-13.
One of the differences that I'm seeing right now between these two teams is how they're playing in transition and out of system. Marquette has been doing very well when they're out of system and they have to change things up and figure out where that set's going to go. They've been very crafty in their hitting percentage and where that ball's going. Villanova, not as much. When they are out of system, they have a lot harder time connecting with a hit and getting a kill.
Well, and when it's going well for Marquette or for Villanova, Michelle, they want to spread the love, spread the ball around, get a variety of different players to kill and finish off points. In the match they played here at Marquette, 4 players had double-digit kills. They were able to take one set, that was it, but it was a battle, it was a dogfight, and that's what Josh Steinbach is looking for, balance. Don't try to lean on just one particular player.
And that's kind of what they did through set number 2, was really leaned on Mallory Potts, who was the only double-digit in kills, and Delaplane has been sitting on 8. Like I said, she had 6 kills in that first set, only 1 in the second set, and only 1 here.
Yeah, that match here in Milwaukee just a couple weeks ago, November 16th, Nova took the first set 25-23, and Marquette took the next 3, but had to work to get those. When they played in Philly, which is back in mid-October, Marquette made it a clean sweep. Vandenberg from the back row. Lowe was there, poked over by Johnson. Here's Wirch off the hands. Hope delivers.
And she's such a versatile player. Again, a 6 rotation player for Coach Tice. She can really hit from anywhere on the floor. Does a great job in serve receive. I believe she's leading the team in aces. And very effective in serve receive from that back row.
Delaplane deadened by Rose. Vandenberg to the ceiling. Wirch comes back on her. Good defense with Johnson over there, along with Olszanowski.
Yeah, the freshman Johnson back off the bench contributing. We'll see if they get her involved in the offense. Only 1 kill so far with her, from her.
A bullet there. Wirch. Looking for the touch and no contact.
Yeah, Coach Tice is like, no, yeah, I'm going to pass. I've already used 2. I only have 1 left. We'll take another look at it, see if we can see the touch.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah, because the right 2 outside fingers on the hand of Johnson looked like they did turn in when the ball made contact.
Jones again, kind of mistimed that poke over. Marquette saying 4 hits and then shot deep. Now Ryan Tice.
And that's not a challengeable call.
No.
You can only challenge if something is a net, if it's in or out, if there's a touch and a foot fault.
That looked like, I'm not good at math, but it looked like 4 because not one of the shots, not a block. It was fingertip 1-2, then 3, then over on 4.
Right.
One more time. Count along with us here, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, and then over on 4.
Yep.
And again.
Well, there's the 4th one on Johnson.
Right.
Yep.
And you can challenge this.
Oh, because it was touched, that's right, off the block.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't see that it was touched on that block originally.
Correct. And so now the down official, our officials, by the way, Jim Kuzila and Ian Young. Take a look at the monitor, count along. But again, none of these are a block up there. 1.
There's a touch.
There's another touch, and then now we're at 3, 4, almost 5.
Yeah.
At least 4.
Because that ball was bouncing around the net a little bit between the 2 blockers of Villanova.
Yeah, there were quick caroms near the net, and they weren't technically blocks either. They were just trying to regather.
That is so cool, watching the down official just operate his little wheel going back and forth and back and forth. He's really focusing right now on that net.
It's his own little video game.
All right, so he's explaining to the table now what the call is going to be. And remember, as you mentioned, Bob, there has to be disputable evidence.
Indisputable.
Indisputable, thank you. Indisputable evidence to overturn that. One of those words I get wrong.
It's all right. My math was wrong. I mean, I was wrong too, because I counted 4 or 5 hits, but I'm wrong there. The officials are right. That's why they're the officials. We're tied at 16. Goes to Wirch, middle to Kuntz. Look at the Cats. Scrapping and clawing there, trying to bring that ball back to life. They can't. Marquette 17-16.
And great feed to Kuntz. She's been kind of quiet through the beginning of the set. Tallies her 8th. So Marquette continuing to spread the wealth between Vandenberg, Wirch, Barber, and Kuntz.
Decker.
And Gwyn Jones as well.
Gwyn Jones, who was there for the block. Wirch from the back row. Oh, and a touch by Sheeter. Maddie got caught with her hand in the cookie jar.
And that is so frustrating. Great job by Kuntz to save that ball. Wirch gets a 10 ball to hit from what we call the pipe. And that's so frustrating. Sheeter, freshman mistake.
Marquette goes to work. Jones. And Marquette ad-libs it over. Middle, Howling. Jones, and that one poked over by Vandenberg, but OB. A lot of folks in the trampoline near the net there.
Coach Tice doing a good job talking to Gwyn about that last sequence.
Nova looking for the equalizer here. Late stages of set number 3. Ullman's serve is very good. Vandenberg cuts it. Up and over by Sarah.
And great job by Lowe to get that ball up on 2.
Jones That's more to her liking. In stride, on the slide, from the backside, she got it done. Last couple of times, her timing's been off. Still able to get points, but that was perfection for Gwynn. On the touch, and Delaplane connects.
It's good to see number 33 in blue get back in the action. She'd been stuck on 8 for a while, now up to 9.
And now Claire to serve. Again, Nova, chance to knot things up at 19 apiece.
And they needed that side out because that brings Mallory Potts, number 15 in blue, into that front row.
Vandenberg in the front row for Marquette. Michelle touched on it. You're getting a peek at what's to come for Marquette when Barber graduates, who, by the way, checks back into the front row. So now you got Vandenberg, Orff, and Barber front and center for Marquette.
And also don't forget you got number 8, Hope Wirch, who can hit out of that back row.
Here's Speckman. And caroms off of Anna Morris. 21-18, Marquette.
Villanova cannot make mistakes like that coming down the stretch. This is a must-win set.
Morris tracks it down. Up and over by Lowe. Barber calling for it. Instead, Vandenberg gets it. So Allie Barber, the decoy. You don't go to the Big East Player of the Year. You go to a member of the Big East freshman squad. Hannah Vandenberg gets it and delivers it.
Well, and that gives Vandenberg in isolation with Emma Decker, number 4, the setter. And Barber drew Potts over to her side of the net, so both hitters for Marquette were in isolation.
We'll take a timeout as Villanova takes a timeout as well. We'll be right back to Milwaukee.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. today, I am debt-free.
We have no debt, we don't owe anybody anything, and it's fantastic.
Marquette creeping closer to making a clean sweep of the Villanova Wildcats here in the Big East semifinals. If they do, they will play on their home court Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Milwaukee time. They'll also get to pull up a seat here for our next semifinal at 5:30 Milwaukee time between Creighton and St. John's. Marquette swept the Cats in Philadelphia back in October. Needed 4 sets just a couple weeks ago here in Milwaukee. Middle, Orff! That's what it sounded like too, Michelle.
Yeah. And notice how far Speckman had to come to get that ball. She's serving, and that ball came over on 1, and Speckman had to get up there quickly to get the pass from Barber.
That one sailed tight to the net. Decker, nothing she could do. Barber was lurking anyway. Match point on the table for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Speckman.
Yeah, and those last 3 or 4 serves that she had were lethal.
Yeah.
Really forced Nova out of system. And that's really what gave Marquette this 5-point lead.
Nova will need 5 unanswered to force the issue. And no issue. It's over. Barber finishes the Wildcats off 25-19. Marquette takes set number 3. They take care of Villanova in 3 straight sets. We'll be back to Milwaukee to wrap up this first semifinal as Marquette takes hold of a bid for the Big East Championship on Saturday.
Hallelujah.
And this is just one night. You should see what we do during the day. Marquette University. Be the difference.
My parents never taught me anything about managing money.
The amount of student loan debt I have, I'm embarrassed to even say.
We just decided we didn't want debt any longer.
I didn't realize how easy investing could be.
I'm picking companies that I believe in. I think SoFi money is amazing.
Thank you, SoFi.
SoFi, thank you. We love you.
Marquette just took down Villanova here in our semifinals, advancing to the championship game tomorrow. I've got Allie Barber here. Allie, you were named the Big East Player of the Year, 16 kills for you today. What do you credit that success to?
I think it's a team effort. Our entire team works so hard every day, and they put us, me and all of our hitters in great positions to be successful.
What kind of prep will you do tonight and tomorrow morning to get ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to watch the next match and hopefully get a good feel for both the teams. We've played them both twice this season, so we already know who their good hitters are and what they do, but it's good to just keep watching film and be as prepared as we can for tomorrow.
And the last 2 years, you guys have finished as the runner-up in second place. What would a win tomorrow mean, a conference title win mean for you, especially as a senior?
Yeah, like you said, being my senior year, it would mean so much because we haven't done it before. Also, being in the Al would be awesome to do it in front of our home crowd here.
Absolutely. Allie, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, Bob, over to you.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Piper. All right, here's your updated bracket here in Milwaukee. Marquette makes quick work of Villanova, taking the Wildcats in straight sets. Coming up next, we will finish the bracket off and set the stage for the championship on Saturday at 3:30 Milwaukee time. 5:30 Milwaukee time is when you can catch Creighton and St. John's, so stick around for that. For Piper Shaw, Michelle Griffin-Wenzel, and our entire staff here in Milwaukee, we bid you farewell for now from the Al McGuire Center. There are your final numbers. Marquette over Villanova in straight sets. You got it. Thank you. Marquette. It's like, can you guess, I think? I think it knew who I was. I think you just have to accept it, and then it'll go through.